fictional. Hey, you know what time it is? No press fam. The beat. Welcome everyone to another episode of The Beatdown, the segment where two worlds collide. I'm your host, Class, and my co-host, Big, doing it big, baby. And we want to wanted to remind you guys, a friendly reminder that if you guys enjoy our content, you know what you can do? You can subscribe, you can share, or you can turn on your notifications to get the latest episode, and we're always putting one out every week. And in honor of the Moonlight series coming out in Marvel, Disney Plus, and in honor of the Batman movie that just came out, I figured why not do a mano-a-mano fight between the two, since they're obviously always compared to one another. And I'll be representing DC Comics' The Dark Knight.
Justice will be served.
Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, is known as one of the best detectives around. On top of that, he uses his bat symbol to strike fear into the hearts of criminals. That being said, there is a lot of similar qualities of these two. They are both use their gadgets in a fight. Both are wealthy. They also use their fighting skills in a fight. Both aren't exactly superhuman. They have no actual serums or anything like that. They're just regular people. So equally kind of the same in that essence. Here are some of the key differences though. Batman is known to be even surpassed Olympic level athletes that exist in the entire world. And he has mastered every form of hand-to-hand martial art combat ever in existence, even his own. So Batman is probably going to have in this essence much more skill set. Now you might think to yourself, the gadgets might not have an advantage in this if you actually kind of know about Moon Knight's gadgets, but let me just say this. His gadgets he has a variety of gadgets. He has acid, he has smoke pellets, he has smoke bombs. I mean, he has a lot of stuff. And on top of that, he has gadgets. He's even had gadgets that actually was able to stop and take down the entire Justice League. That's right, his own people, his own team that are consistent of gods and and aliens and metahumans. He was able to take all of them down with his own gadgets. So don't underestimate the gadgets and the man behind them. So for Batman to win this, honestly, I'm not going to spoil it about the gadgets, but unfortunately Batman's gadgets is not going to be as superior in this essence, in this situation against Moon Knight. But as far as close-to-close, hand-to-hand combat, he has this in the bag. If he keeps the fight at a close-to-close range, he has this for sure, because he can take him down with any pressure points. He could easily use any of his martial arts skills. Not to mention, he's on top of the top level of athletes and everything like that. He's super fast and he's super strong. So agility, speed, strength-wise, he's going to overpower Moon Knight. And he's going to be able to do that with his skills. So even in any situation that goes down, as long as Batman keeps a close-range fight, he's going to be able to actually weaken Moon Knight at some point. Eventually do maybe a spinning heel kick, drop him down, boom. Moon Knight down, the Dark Knight wins. My champion for today is Marvel Comics' Moon Knight. Alright, so let's give you a brief history of Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight. In the beginning, Mark Spector was a military man. Eventually, at one of his missions, he was left for dead in the dark night cold desert, and eventually some people that lived there in the sand, I don't know how that's possible, or lived in some kind of temple, carried him back to their temple where they worshiped the statue. Now the statue, they considered it to be an Egyptian god of vengeance in it, and sure enough there was actually. As Mark Spector was dying, his name is Khonshu, if I'm saying that correctly. This gave him a choice and asked him, hey, do you want to live? If so, be my avatar for vengeance. And sure enough, Mark said, yeah, I'll do that. And that's where Moon Knight came from and was born. Right off the bat, get it? Moon Knight has actually juggles 4 different personalities. One for Mark Spector as a military guy, the wealthy guy, the guy who works as a cab driver, and the superhero. Though Batman and Moon Knight do have some similar traits, there are some differences between them. For example, Batman likes to use the shadow to lurk around, kind of keep his self hidden. Moon Knight actually uses the white to show himself, let his foes and his enemies know that he is coming, to strike more fear into them, kind of like a helpless situation, I guess, in a way. Another thing, Moon Knight was a heavyweight boxing champion. Yes, he was an actual boxing champion before he became the military guy and the Moon Knight guy. So he's able to throw a mean swing. And that being said, he also knows pressure points in the human body. So Batman's not going to be able to kind of use the pressure points against him, since Moon Knight can also use the pressure point. And if it comes down to a face-to-face swing, bare knuckle fight, I'm going to say Moon Knight has this in the bag. Now, just as a little drop of that, a little hint here and there, or a little added bonus, Moon Knight actually in the comics was able to channel power and strength from the moon itself. So if talking about Olympic athlete level and speed and strength, it's not going to do anything if Moon Knight can use the power of the moon to keep him strong. As long as it's a fight in the nighttime, which both are going to fight at nighttime, obviously Moon Knight would probably have the upper advantage if he has that. He's able to channel that energy, His crescent darts, his Tretchen, I think that's how you say it, and his suit at one point. What did they all have in common? They were all made of adamantium. Now, if you don't remember what adamantium is, why don't you go check into Wolverine's bones, because that's what that is. It's one of the strongest material metal out there. So, gadget-wise, Batman probably wouldn't be able to and have an upper advantage in this, because Moon Knight, all adamantium weapons, is really gonna just put him in the favor in this department. Now, the reason why I said his suit used to have adamantium is because he decided to trade it into carbonadium, which is actually kind of almost the same metal as adamantium, almost as strong, and it's just lighter in weight to move around, because Moon Knight is a little more maneuver, flexible, agility type of guy, and he needs that to be able to do all that sort of stuff. Now, Moon Knight's tactic for fighting is pretty interesting one. He likes to get his opponents to kind of go at him and throw every swing they got at him, because once they do, he gets to throw it twice as hard back at them. And since he's a heavyweight champion, I do believe that's possible. This method, or this maneuver, this tactic, actually worked well enough to beat Taskmaster, okay? And Taskmaster is one of those guys who can imitate any person. So if he was able to beat Taskmaster using that type of technique, I think Batman is going to have a little run for his money in this essence. Now, adamantium gadgets means that Batman's not going to be able to last that long in this fight if Moon Knight keeps it at a distance and uses the gadgets during the whole fight. Everything Batman throws besides the acid is probably going to put him at a disadvantage. But either way, if Moon Knight decides to throw one of those crescent darts at him, and he cuts a little blood or something, cuts a little jugular on his neck or something, or he cuts a little on his veins, anywhere, and Batman is bleeding, Batman is human. If he's losing a lot of blood, he's eventually going to get weakened by that. So he might be able to hold his own for a certain amount of time. But eventually, the blood loss, going at a fight for a long period of time, and Moon Knight not giving him enough room to breathe, not letting him get a time to go and run away with any of the gadgets, and just keeps going at him, eventually Batman is gonna have to give. And Moon Knight is gonna take this for the win. Alright guys, it's not up to me. It's not up to Biggs. It's up to you guys. So, if you guys like my argument, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Batman. Actually, you know what? You can hashtag The Dark Knight. And if you like my argument, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Moon Knight.